mix.
Is that another chick magazine?
Well, it's not that kind of chick magazine. It's this kind of chick magazine. It's chick ordering time for me, and I'm gonna put a call in later on to get some dual-purpose breeds that'll lay nice brown eggs for me. Later on today, I'm gonna have more chicks than I know what to do with. Chris Squire at Kiss the Cook is going to be holding a cooking class for some very beautiful women, and I get to be the lucky kitchen assistant. We're going to be serving up some grilled quail, some wilted spinach, and a really neat organic seedling mix that I can show you how to grow at home. Later on, I'll go and pick up the chicks at the hatchery, and we'll visit Danfield's to pick up some pears. They're going to be part of the dessert tonight. Caramelized pears on puff pastry and a sour cream ice cream. I can taste it already. Well, better make my chick call.
With the weather warming up, we're ramping up the outside operations as well as in the greenhouse. One aspect of organic farming is that it's labor intensive. This helps the local economy by creating jobs. And I couldn't do it without the many hands helping to supply the restaurants with the vegetables they need.
Let's talk about some of the organic vegetables we're going to provide for Chris's dinner tonight. From our greenhouse at this time of the year, we have a seedling mix. Now this is really easy for you to grow at home organically. Get some seedling trays and we'll show you how to do that later. But the great thing about these is that you get rewarded in a couple of days for your efforts, because within a week you're harvesting what you've already seeded out. And some of the different elements in this mix are purple kohlrabi and radish. We've also got red cabbage and broccoli sprouts. We've got spinach coming out of the fields this time of year. Now there are two basic varieties of spinach. We've got the Savoy leaf here, and we've got the flat leaf spinach. Personally, I prefer the Savoy leaf because it's tastier and it's got a much crunchier texture for that spinach salad with eggs. Either way, as long as you grow it yourself and grow it organically, they're both really great tasting. And last but not least, the edible flower portion of tonight's menu. This time of the year, Johnny Jump Ups are probably going to be the first flower coming up in your garden that you can use as a garnish. They're really easy to grow, especially organically, because they grow at a time where there's not a lot of competition from other plants and weeds in the garden, and the insects really don't bother these too much. And of course, with edible flowers, it's very important to grow them organically because you're going to be eating them.
When Chris Squire told me that he was cooking quail for a dozen beautiful women, I asked if I could help, and then I suggested a seedling mix to top it off.
An organic seedling mix is a great addition to any main or salad dish, and it's really good for you as well. It's got lots of antioxidants in it if you take the brassicas, the cabbages and stuff. It's colorful, it's tasty. What more can you ask for? We grow ours in a large greenhouse like this, but at home you can grow it in one of these great little transplant trays that you can find at any garden center. So here's a primer on how to grow organic seedlings. 1 feed scoop full of potting soil. Make sure it's untreated. There's no starter fertilizer in it. This is a peat-based compound. Now get one of these things I like to call a stick. Cut it about 1/2 inch shorter than your seedling tray, and use it just like a leveling boom to level out your transplant medium. It's important to make it level so that the seeds germinate at the same time, because you're going to be cutting them at the same time. When you're looking for seeds to use in your seedling mix, look for untreated or organic seeds. And Johnny's in the States has a good selection of seeds for seedlings. This is an open pollinated variety, and you can get cabbage and broccoli in open pollinated. It's a cheaper variety, and it's a kind that doesn't perform as well in the field as a large vegetable, but we're not concerned with that because we're just growing the sprouts. And you can grow them fairly close together. Don't be too worried about packing them in. Take your onion skin bag with some more potting soil in it. Make sure it's dry. And you shake that over top and just barely cover the seeds up. Now your stick is used as a tamper. An even pressure right across the seed tray. Water it in. Now put it on a warm spot like the top of your fridge. The heat from the compressor coming up on the back of the fridge is going to keep the seed tray nice and warm. You don't need a lot of light because it's the heat that germinates these seedlings. And in about 5 to 7 days, you'll be harvesting your seedling mix already. Couldn't be easier than that.
Washing the seedlings is easy. Just put them in cold water, remove the husks and debris, put them in a porous laundry bag, and my favorite part, spinning them in the washing machine for 2 minutes. Your seedlings come out cleaner than clean. Well, the sun is out and I shall be toiling in the fields. The vegetables don't care what I look like, but the dinner guests, that's another story.
Oh, I'm roasting here. You can fry an egg on my stomach.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to look my best for the chicks tonight. Working on my farmer's tan, you know. Oh, geez, that's enough me time for today. Better get back to work.
When we come back, I'll be getting some fresh spinach and flowers and getting ready to pick up the chicks.
You know, being a farmer, both conventional and organic, is all about land stewardship. It's not just about growing crops. And on our organic farm, we've undertaken a number of projects to enhance the environment that's around us.
Over the years, I've planted several species of native trees, such as white cedars, to form a windbreak.
This year, we're putting in some trees, some Carolinian trees. This is a black cherry. Just for a bit of habitat diversity. This provides fruit for migrating birds in the fall and a little bit of cover over my pond. So the largemouth bass that I just put in there will grow up nice and big. Okay. Spinach is a great crop to grow for yourself organically for a number of reasons. First of all, when you grow it yourself at home, you're likely to put more nutrients on the field than most commercial growers, and the plant will love you for it and it'll reward you with great flavor. Secondly, you can grow spinach early in the year when you're still keen to get out there and garden. So as soon as the soil's ready to work, you can go out there and plant your spinach. There's two basic types of spinach. We've got flat leaf and we've got Savoy or crinkle leaf. Both of them are pretty good, but my own preference is towards Bloomsdale, which is a Savoy leaf spinach. Tends to taste a little bit better. Now, whether you have one of these fancy earthway cedars or if you're just putting it in the plot at home in the home garden, spinach gets planted the same way. About 1/2 inch deep. If it's really cold in the spring where you are, put it a little closer to the surface so that the seeds germinate faster because you want to get a jump start on the weeds. So we'll put our seed into the hopper here. And spinach rows should be about 9 inches apart. Again, depending on the width of your stirrup hoe. Whatever weeding tool you use, match the rows to that. Spinach can grow pretty close together and you can thin the seedlings out for your salad. Now the great thing about this little planter here is that while I'm seeding out this row, it's got a little marker on an arm that marks out the next row for me. So I can have nice, accurate rows, and you need that at home too. It'll save you lots of work weeding. Make sure you've got well-drained soil in the garden. Put some sand and some gravel into the soil. That'll help the moisture drain away so that in the fall, when you plant your spinach crop, you can be picking from it into December. Then it'll overwinter, and like us, the first of the season, you'll have a wonderful, sweet, tasty crop to reward all your work for. And this is really sweet right now. And just like Popeye,
I like a little olive oil with my spinach. It's so sweet.
Hey, Murray. I heard this is a pretty good place to pick up chicks.
Yeah, Anthony, come on in. And here are those ladies.
Oh, look at that. Well, great. Thanks, Murray.
No problem.
Well, I think it's time to take the ladies home now.
Bye, Anthony.
See you, Murray. Thanks a lot. They almost said this car was a chick magnet. Now, when you do get day-old chicks, you have to be their mom a little bit and teach them how to drink. You just gotta dip their beak in, and it's just like that pop-up toy. There you are, ladies, belly up to the bar. It's amazing how these guys are programmed for fending for themselves right from the start, though. Look at them finding food already for themselves. There's 12 happy chicks. Now, I know chicks, and one thing chicks dig are flowers. Organic flowers are a great, colorful addition to any salad mix, and they're really easy to grow yourself. In a seed catalog, look for a symbol that has a knife and fork beside it, and that indicates that they're an edible flower variety. You don't want to be picking varieties like Datura that'll give you some really kooky side effects. Whoa! If you do buy your plants from a garden center, what you're going to have to do after you plant them in the ground is remove all of the flower buds, because they may have traces of greenhouse chemicals on them, like herbicide or algicide or anything that ends in the word side. You don't want to be putting in your mouth. The next set of flower buds that come back up, you can be guaranteed, because they're growing in your garden, they're not going to have any of that nasty stuff on them, and they'll be safe to eat. Okay, this one's ready to plant. Take out the plug. We've got a garden bed here with lots of compost that we've worked in. Make a hole in the ground and make sure the soil's planted firmly around it. Now, with Johnny jump ups, you want to plant them about 8 inches apart in the row. That'll be fine. And these guys can go out before the last frost, because they're really frost hardy. And they'll start reblooming in about a week and a half, ready for your salad. The only thing prettier than these flowers I'm working with right now are the women I get to cook dinner for tonight. God, I love my job.
Hey, Anthony.
It's off to Danfield's Market for organic pears, and then I'll be helping Chris Squire make dinner for 12 food-loving femininas. This trip is part of a weekly ritual for me to Danfield's Organic Market in London. I've been selling him our produce for years, but I've also been a customer of his. Today, I'm going to pick up some pears for Chris Squire's recipe.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
I'm good. How are you
Good to
doing?
see you.
Chris wants me to pick up some pears for tonight's dinner,
Great.
so
We've got lots of pears for you.
give me a primer.
Well, I think we should go with these Botte Fettel Italian pears.
Okay.
They're going to cook up for you great. They're going to hold their texture. They're going to make a great presentation. Syrupy sweet flesh and
great.
sugary skin. I don't think you can beat a Botte Fettel.
Oh, that's a lovely pear.
It's a lovely pear.
Give me about a dozen of them.
Dozen of those?
Yeah.
Great. Some of these with a little blush on them, maybe?
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Okay.
Pears are really nice and firm, and they lend themselves really well to that slow cooking process, you know, that we've got roasting them in the oven.
Anthony, I don't think you can do any better than these pears for tonight.
Great. Well, we're gonna roast these and have them on puff pastry with sour cream ice cream.
Sounds fantastic. Save me some.
Oh, whatever, I'm not eating.
Okay, let's check out.
Okay.
Have a great dinner tonight.
Hey, 2 guys to 12 women, how can you go wrong with that? See ya.
See ya.
Hey, this is my idea of a dream come true. I'm at my favorite kitchen store. I'm gonna be cooking with a great chef, and we're gonna be making dinner for 12 beautiful women. Somebody pinch me. at Kiss the Cook with Chris the Cook. Chef Chris Squire is the resident chef here, and he's been teaching cooking classes for quite a while here. Tonight, all the chicks in my life are coming here for a fantastic dinner, and we're gonna make quail with couscous and a pear croustade for dessert, right?
That's it.
Okay, we're going to make the pear croustade first, so it has time to bake while we make the rest of the dinner.
So what have we got in these pears?
Orange zest and star anise.
Oh, you can really smell the
Yeah,
star
and
anise
you know,
coming up,
it's even better if you toast it a little in a frying pan and then grind it fresh.
Oh, yeah?
As you go, yeah.
Chris is adding sugar and star anise to the pears and using firm pears to give the croustade body.
Body.
Right,
And we
right,
like
a little
body.
texture. Yeah, oh, I love a body.
Yeah. Little water.
To help seal the pastry?
We're going to
which is
seal
the
because
next layer?
we're going to put another layer of puff pastry that's about 1 inch smaller. So egg wash keeps it from getting too dried out.
Right. So this is going in the oven now for what?
This is a lot of weight. There's a lot of pears in there, and I'm thinking probably 350. Cook it a little slower. We'll give the pears a chance to heat up.
Okay.
Probably 40 minutes.
Okay, so why don't you tell me about the quail dish that we're going to have first?
Well, the quail is, we've got it marinating. A little soy sauce, a little bit of honey, some port wine, juniper berries, bay leaves. What else can you see in there?
There's some thyme.
Thyme.
Oh, it smells great. Yeah, the soy's really coming up.
And we've taken the bones out. We're going to sear the quail, caramelize it, take advantage of the maple syrup, and get a nice crust and develop the flavors. And so you're looking at about a minute there, and then 5 or 6 minutes in the oven.
I've got a guy in Sebringville that has fresh bay leaves growing on 8-foot tall trees. This big.
I'll bring the truck around.
Oh, it smells fabulous. So we're going into the oven with these now?
Right into the oven.
Tell me about couscous. Everything I need to know. You got a paella pan?
This couscous has got equal parts liquid, in this case chicken stock, and then a little bit of, the red is from harissa, which is a pepper paste. And then we've got fennel and coriander and some sweet onions. This is a really free and easy recipe, and people can get this recipe if they want, can't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's on the website.
And you can use dried fruit if you want a more intense flavor and the texture, or you can use fresh and not cook it as much.
Right.
So these are dates, fresh
We
grapes.
need more dates on a night like tonight, huh?
Oh. All right.
Slivered almonds. So we're just heating this through right now, huh, Chris? Not too hot.
Yeah, just a low temperature, and this can be a cold salad.
All right, how's that look, Chris?
It's perfect.
Good. Spinach is next?
Spinach is next.
Spinach?
So we're going to wilt the spinach, and this is yours.
Nice organic spinach, yeah.
Yeah. We could do this.
Very sweet, very sweet. The best tasting spinach is that Savoy type, the Savoy leaf spinach, really crinkly. But you don't often see it in the grocery stores because it's too much of a pain for the commercial guys to wash it. So you usually see flat leaf spinach in the store. So find a local grower and get some spinach from him.
And wash it yourself.
Hey, there's a trick.
And this is a perfect opportunity to use a really coarse fleur de sel, a finishing salt. You just get these nice little chunks of salt, and it really heightens the sweetness of the spinach.
So save the fine salt for the pasta water and the potato water. Right? Looks gorgeous.
All right, I think the quail's ready as well.
Chris Squire holds cooking classes at Kiss the Cook, and tonight's an all-female class. Boy, some guys get all the luck.
I would like to welcome all of you beautiful, beautiful women to one of the most pleasant jobs I've ever had tonight. Welcome to you all. Cheers. 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 When we come back, Chris is going to plate up this fantastic dish for some of the fantastic dishes in our lives. Ladies are all assembled in front of us. We better assemble this meal, Chris.
All right.
What's the first step?
Let's get the quail.
Okay. Oh, that quail looks beautiful, Chris. Can really smell the soy coming up
Isn't that
now.
wonderful?
And I'll put the seedling mix here out of the way, and we're going to use that as a garnish from the top, right? This came from our farm today, and it's a mixture of broccoli, kohlrabi, cabbage sprouts, peppercress, sort of tying in the hot and the sweet flavors that you've got throughout the meal here.
I can't stop eating it.
Okay, so a little bit of spinach on here, and some of this lovely couscous. And now the quail.
There's the quail.
Bud me up, baby.
And we'll put a little bit of sauce.
Oh, beautiful.
Right
color.
down there.
And the piece of resistance.
Beautiful.
A little bit of seedling mix on top. Oh, that was That's great. That's good. Right across the side.
French fry.
Go. Well, Chris, I'd like to propose a toast.
And to keep the toast warm and personal, remember to look in your partner's eyes when you're toasting.
Here's to a fantastic dinner.
You know the deal with quail? Use your hands.
Pick it up, right? Is that right?
You gotta pick it up.
Yeah, I know, but... That's delicious.
This is the most gratifying job I've ever had, I think, right now. I can retire, that's it.
That's it, you're done.
It doesn't get any better than this. That looks
want to do
so
this?
good.
No.
I'm going to let you do this.
All right.
I'm not going to
There we
steal
go.
your glory.
And look at the layers in the puff pastry.
And then this caramelized pear sauce. Squeals of delight. I'm on to squeals
I don't
of delight.
think Chippendales gets those kind of reactions.
Running our organic farm is a combination of fieldwork and public relations. It's nice to know that I've got someone to share the responsibilities and the joys of what we do, producing delicious organic food and bringing people together over wonderful meals.
She still loves me.
Huh, I do.
Until next time on the Manic Organic, I'm Antony John.
A man outstanding in his field.